How's it going, guys? This week, one of my favorite rappers joins the show. Chuuwee is on with us this week. We talk about a variety of topics. Really fun guy to have on, and I really hope you guys enjoy. All right, joining us now. I could not be more excited for this interview. The king of Sacramento himself, Chuuwee, joins the show today. Chuuwee, how are you?
Yo, what up? What up? What up? I'm chilling, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's jump right into it because you have been releasing music nonstop during the pandemic. I looked the other day, just going through Spotify and all the songs I've added and just looking through all the projects you've put out. And it's at least like 60 songs since April.
Nice, nice.
And so I was wondering, how's the pandemic affected your creative process? And how is it you more time to like experiment different styles musically?
It's been bittersweet because it has given me more time to experiment. Like I finally was able to. My mom actually, I was talking to her one day, and I was like, I want to do an R&B project. She was like, "Oh wow, like you should do that." Da, da, da. She got super geeked about it. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna do it. And I only did that because my mom and because the quarantine. Like I was like, you know what, I got plenty of time to just create stuff. So like, yeah, why not? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm at like this weird, it's a different kind of writer's block, because I can't like go outside and get motivation, or I can't like, me and my girl, we just drive to LA and eat. I can't do stuff like that because things are shut down, or like you got to change how you do it. So I usually always write about like what I'm going through or what my life is like. Now I'm writing kind of weird because my life is weird. I did do a project though, kind of based on like what it's loosely based on life in quarantine. So I was able to do that, but it's bittersweet because like, yeah, I'll throw some beats on or whatever, and I'll start playing around with stuff. But then at the same time, when I do finally write stuff, it's like, man, everything I'm talking about is either the same or it's from like this drained mental perspective, so it doesn't sound good to me.
It kind of brings me into another question I had, and I think what I admire so much about your music is while you have songs that are really great vibes and really fun to jam to, you don't shy away from releasing songs that are very deep and lyrically genuine. And I mean,
Mm,
some of my favorite songs you've released recently have been Too Loud, Appreciation
nice.
from your project Babylon, and Perception from your project Hear No Equal. And I really like those songs because those are songs that I've been able to just kind of like lie down, close my eyes, and really think about them. And
Mm.
so I was wondering, have you been able to find a balance between those types of thought-provoking songs as well as other songs that you're known and loved for that give off like really great vibes, even though we're living in a really weird time?
I've actually been trying to find a way to bridge the gap of being like super cryptic and still having the vibes. Like I've been trying to get on some more of a Bob Dylan hype, where a song can be perceived about one thing, but it's actually about something else. And I always try to make sure I give people something to think about, you know, because me personally, I do like to vibe. I like to feel good. I like music that has a bounce to it. uh I finally think I labeled my music as like dark, rowdy, and enlightened. Like that's the type of music that I like to make. But to be just straightforward, frank with some content or with like a powerful message, I do still try to hold on to that. And honestly, I think I probably do that out of defiance. Like a lot of people, when they give me feedback, they'll either be like, oh, your old stuff sounds better, but it's all still the same exact content. You know what I mean? It just changes for the times, or it changes so that you can catch somebody's ear real quick. And then if you go write down anything of any of the stuff that I released in the last 2 or 3 years, like it still holds the same lyrical potency as any of the stuff where the beat may have been more laid back, or I may have approached you with a more direct message. Whereas now I'm sliding it in, or like now the message is actually the vibe, where it's more so the song is a feeling of what somebody might going through. The song is an emotion rather than the song telling you like, hey, this is what's going on. This is my opinion of it. Now I'm trying to get you to understand like, hey, this is how I feel, or this is how people feel right now. But I do try to hold on to the fact of just saying something potent, straightforward. Because a lot of like you'll get a trap beat, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, trap music, mumble rap," but I'll do that style, or I'll do a mumble rap. And if you write the lyrics down and you recite them, it's like, oh wow, he's talking about bank accounts and federal funding. You know what I mean? Like it's all fun to me. And like you were saying earlier, it gives me a chance to experiment more. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people I respect because they have like the same consistent style, but I've just never been one of those people personally. I try to always have a different bounce or a different approach, a different rhyme pattern, a different structure setup. I always try to come new, just based off when I was a kid. My mom made the comment of I can't remember what rapper we were talking about, but she was like, all his shit sound the same. You could take this verse and put it on that beat. So when I really started writing, I took that way too much to heart. Like I was like, every time I come, I'm coming new. I never had the same flow. Like even to the point when I do live shows, if I do like a 3-4 show run, like let's say we'll have like small little tour, we have 4 shows. None of my sets are the same, ever, ever. And especially when we do shows in Sac, we'll do like 3 shows in Sac in 2 weeks. None of the sets are ever the same. It's always a new set. I don't know why. I try to go against the grain all the time and show people like nah, that's possible. Or like, nah, you can do both. You can be different and you can be this, or you can bounce, you can trap on the song, but you can still tell people about the oppression that's going on.
You mentioned your mother a few times. Has she been a big inspiration to you musically?
Entirely, yeah. I think, to be honest, I started rapping because of my mom and Gangstar. I was listening to I think it was Mass Appeal by Gangstar when I was like 6 or 7. And then I think the following year, like when I turned 8, at some point between 7 years old and 8 years old, my mom had a little setup in her bedroom in the corner. And I walked in one day and she was like going in, like she had the analog with the like she had the microphone, she had the boombox with the tape recorder, the MIDI, like she had the whole setup in the corner. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm recording." And we were bothering her or something, like you know how kids are. So she's like get the fuck out the room. I'm doing something. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm recording. Get the fuck out the room." And I think probably a week later, I saw the Gangstar video again, and I was like, "Man, I want to do that shit. My mom's doing it. I want to rap." And I remember the first rap that I ever wrote. I was 9, and I tried to write a rap to Green Sleeves by Beethoven. My dad took me to work with him. It was like, take your child to work day or something like that. And I was in the break room, and it came on the radio, and I was like, I'm gonna write a rap to that. Pulled out a little notepad, and I started rapping. I can't remember how it started, but I know the chorus was like, my sleeves are green in the morning. That's not, like that's all I remember from the chorus. I'm like 9 years old, like, yeah, I'm gonna rap to Green Sleeves.
Have you ever featured your mom on one of your songs? And if
Yes.
not, you have.
Yeah, my mom was featured on a tape I did like 2012 or 13, I think, called Be Cool. The song's called Stoner's Ode. And then I'm featured on her album 2 or 3 times. She has an album out on Spotify called Gangster. I'm featured on there like 2 or 3 times. Me and my mom got a lot of work together because we've actually been like slowly putting together a project called La Nostra.
I'll tell you that I'm really excited for that project now. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
really
we got some
excited.
joints. We got some joints. I'll get them from her and send you some.
Awesome, love it.
Hell yeah.
So during the nationwide peaceful protests following the death of George Floyd, you helped raise donations of supplies
Yeah.
and even delivered supplies for protesters in your local community, such as masks, gloves, water, hand sanitizer, snacks, all these things. And I first wanted to say how much I admire you for using your platform to help your community. And I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to ask about your thoughts these past few months, just from the perspective of a young Black artist as well as a father.
That was actually why I decided I needed to do something, is because I'm a father now. My daughter is half Vietnamese also, so the Vietnamese community always still receives a lot of discrimination because of the Vietnam War. And I find that weird because like there's been situations that I've seen actually. I've been with my girl and she's gone through some stuff, and I'm like dude, 29, like and a woman, she wasn't even there and was not allowed on front lines. You know what I mean? Like you got to take that energy to somebody else. But it was because my daughter is half black, half Vietnamese. She's gonna have to go through it twice. And I felt like this was our civil rights movement for my present time and my age group. You know what I mean? Back in the day, I'm pretty sure that like my grandfather or my great grandfather, they probably wanted to, the respect levels are different, but they probably wanted to ask or know what their parents or what their family did when they were like power hosing people down and shooting them and dragging them through the streets. And when my daughter grows up and she sees the footage of this, and when she sees how it finally impacted the world, the discrimination and the injustice that the black community faces, when she finally sees that and she asks me, well, Dad, what did you do? I want her to be able to be proud of something, and I want to be able to inspire her to go outside and do something too. And also just in a personal light, I feel like somebody somebody like subtweeted kind of after I said something on Twitter, and it hit me different. Like I didn't get mad and want to like fire off. It hit me different, and it made me feel like, oh shit, I'm a community leader. Because like to me, I have my own successes, but I have my own personal goals as well. So until I get where I want to go, I'm not the perception that people have of me, but people have a very, very high perception of me, fortunately. And it just hit me different. I was like, damn, I'm a community leader, I need to do something. And so yeah, at first I was using my own money. Like I just went to Walmart and spent like $500 my own cheese. And the next morning when I woke up, United Masters and Cash App was just like giving me money. They were like, "We seen your efforts. We want to help out. Like, here's some money. Do whatever you need to do with it." And the impact was so big in the Sacramento community that I almost felt embarrassed a little bit because like not too much of my help was needed. When I went to protest for 3 days, and I brought water, towels, I brought like anything anybody might have needed, face masks, whatever. And there was just so much of it out there already that I was like, okay, damn, like maybe I need to do something else then, because like everybody's already doing this, and I don't want to like cop out, like, oh, I did something. Like, nah, you didn't do anything because everybody did that. So I started thinking more and thinking more. I was out there protesting. Uh, with all the remaining money that I had, I just started giving it away to black families. Like I just wanted to do something, you know what I mean? Like when my daughter goes back and be like, man, during the George Floyd protest, what did you do? I fed black families and passed out water, and I marched and cried with everybody at the Capitol in Sacramento for 3 days. And the only reason why I only went for 3 days is because I had to get back to SD. And then like out here in SD, they had everything sold up, like they I was actually like extremely impressed at how powerful the San Diego protests were. Like there was a lot of people outside. It was crazy out here.
I mean, that's really awesome to hear. We can go into some lighter topics right now, and I just want to again thank you for just being a great community leader and just someone that people who listen to your music can not just enjoy your music but also look up to. But let's go to we can go to some lighter topics, and I want to take you back to 2015. I had recently just made a Spotify,
Mhm.
and I was finding new music, broadening my horizons in the world of hip hop. And then Spotify recommended a song to me. It's maybe like a year old, and it was from the album called America's Most Blunted by Chuuwee and Triz, and the song was called Nothing at All. And
Nice. I think that one has the most streams too, I think.
since I put that song on my Spotify, it is top 10 most listened to every year, a staple of so many of my playlists. So I got to ask, when did you know that that song was just a gem? Like as you're writing it after its release?
To be honest, that's like my least favorite on the album, which is crazy. To answer your question, honestly, I realized it was a gem probably in 2017. or 18. Because when I started really getting a hold of my Spotify statistics and like really trying to hone in on my fan base, that song to this day is my most streamed song. I think it has like 15 million streams. And 2019, it was certified to me that it was a gem because it was placed in the what is that movie called? I feel stupid. I can't remember anybody's name or the movie right now. Jonah Hill. What's his movie called? The skateboarding movie?
God, I gotta look that
You
up
know
right
what I'm
now.
talking about?
I feel like I do, and it's a shame that one of my friends who always comes on the show is like the biggest movie buff, and we do movie segments with him, and so now I just gotta search Jonah Hill
I feel so
skateboarding
stupid.
movie.
It's his first like debut film and it like popped off. He had wild success for it. Shout out to him for that.
Mid '90s.
Mid 90s.
Yes.
Jonah Hill put it in a mid 90s playlist on Spotify. And that was when I was like, oh shit, this is a song. And it was, you know how they do the official playlists for movies on Spotify?
Yeah.
So those people got with him and he made a playlist of all the songs he was listening to while he wrote that movie. And that song was in there. And I was like, wow, that's fucking crazy. Like it was crazy. Like I think for 2 weeks people were tweeting about it. It was crazy. That was when I was certified. It was solidified to me like, okay, yeah, that song right there is like if we've ever had a hit, it's that one. And fucking great. Like those are hits as by standard definition.
Well, yeah. Let's go back to that one because you said it's probably your least favorite song on the project. It was personally my favorite. I mean, fucking great is fucking great. Let me tell you, like that would be the first song I would play, like waking up for the first day of summer, like last day of school. Like, oh, I'm not a sophomore anymore. Cool. And then I wake up and I'm like, I can sleep in now, and then just bump fucking great because I'm like, oh, I don't
That's
have
fire.
responsibility right now. It's lovely.
That's
Um,
fire.
but is there a specific reason why it wasn't necessarily your favorite on the track or on the
I don't
project?
know. It's just not one that I would gravitate to. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just not the one that I jam the most. You know, like even when we perform it, like I pseudo dread performing it. You know what I mean? Like it's hella fake. It's not like a serious like thing. But we'll be at shows and I'll try to get past it. Like somebody will like the DJ will start the instrumental and I'll be like, no, no, no. And people will be like, oh, and or they'll start rapping it and shit. And I'm like, fuck. Like every time we have a show, the three songs that people ask us about are SPC, uh, fucking great, and above it all. Like every time, or no, nothing at all. Every time we have shows, people ask us about that. Like every time. If we don't have that in the set, somebody always like. There's been times where we have left, like walked off stage, we're done, and there's extra time, and they're like, "Yo, do this, do this, do this," and we're like, and they're like, "Fuck it, go ahead." Like we've been like encored back on stage to do nothing at all. Like I don't know why I just don't gravitate to it.
All right, I've yet to go to one of your shows. I just think the dates never lined up, but I'll make sure when I finally get to go to one of your shows, I will not request nothing at all. And I mean, I know all the lyrics by heart, so if people want a performance of nothing at all, I can just be standing in the back corner and just
Nah, nah,
take it
nah,
from
nah.
there.
It's like embedded in the set. Like we can't take it out the set. It has to be in there. Cause and then above it all is the other one they ask about. Like we got to get that one in there too. If we don't do that, people will be like, "Do above it all, do above it all." I'm telling you, every time, like people will walk up to us at the bar like an hour before our set, and they're like, "Y'all gonna do nothing at all? Y'all gonna do above it all? Y'all gonna do SBC?"
Is there a song that you love performing where it's just like when you're going through your set list and you're going like, this is the one I love performing the song?
Black Magic, Mario Party, and I'll Be Good. Those three are like my favorite. I get the most hype off those. And then I think runner up would be what the hell is that song called? May I?
May I's a good song. That is
Yeah,
also
yeah.
another staple of my playlists.
The West Coast shows, like California West Coast shows, they love that joint. Like it goes crazy every time. LA loves that song. LA loves that song, and I'm so accustomed to having bad LA shows. Like the last 3 years, all our LA shows crazy. Like, I was telling my girl about it one time. I think it started in like 2017. I haven't had a bad LA show since 2017. Even the two bad ones, like two of them got canceled, they were still fire. Two of them got canceled when we got there, and they were still cracking.
So you're from California. I'm assuming you mostly perform on the West Coast. Have you ever made it to the East Coast at all? I'm from Boston. Any chance you might make it to Boston?
I did Boston. I did the whole East Coast. I did Boston, Connecticut, New Hampshire, and like everywhere in between in 2014 and 15, I think it was. Like a long time ago. I'm trying to get back over there now. Now that I done put a lot more groundwork in, I definitely want to do Boston because I did church upstairs in like 2014. I had a album. No, 2014. I had an album called Crown Me King, and I did my release party upstairs at church. So yeah, I love Boston. My old manager took me to Bodega and everything. Like I love Boston because he's from Revere.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so when I wasn't on, like when we were just like chilling on off days, I was just running through Boston, man. Like I was in Boston so goddamn much. People walked up to me, what's that park called? What's the park called that everybody goes to smoke at 420?
The Boston Common?
I think so. I was in Boston so much, 420 people were walking up to me like, yo, you Chuuwee, right? Like I was out there smoking and kicking it. I was at Bodega and everything. Like I copped hella shoes at Bodega. Like no, Boston was like a third home damn near. It reminded me of Oakland a lot too. So I was in Revere something tough, man. I was in Revere for like 2 months. I went out to Lynn to buy weed one time. I have a video. I have a fucking music video. What is that song called? I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram when I find it after the interview. But I shot a video at a bank in Revere, and then over there at the beach. I shot a video in Revere.
Wait, I had no idea that you have a video in Revere Beach.
Yeah, I shot a video at Revere Beach on my soul. I just can't remember the fucking name of it right now. I'm gonna find it for you and send it on IG.
Perfect. All right, let's go even further back now. I totally forgot when I first heard this song, but I remember seeing it on YouTube. The song is called Bikini Bottom.
Hey.
Now, for anyone listening to this who has not heard Bikini Bottom by Chuuwee, you have my permission to pause this podcast, go listen to that song, and then come back because
the video, yeah,
it's amazing. Chuuwee, I hate to put you on the spot like this, but here at Sip Talk, we ask the tough questions. What are your 3 favorite SpongeBob episodes?
Oh man, okay, I do have some, but I have to clear the record. I don't like SpongeBob, and that's because I don't even remember when it first aired, but I was there for that though. Like we got cable that day or the day before. We got cable like the week SpongeBob aired. I was probably like 10, and they're like new Nickelodeon show. So I've literally seen every fucking episode of SpongeBob up until like 2012. But
That's
I
even
do have
later.
some
That's even
favorites.
later than me. Like I was born in '98, and I probably stopped
Oh,
watching
okay.
SpongeBob around 2010.
I was born in '90, so SpongeBob dropped probably like I think SpongeBob dropped like 2000, right?
Yeah,
99,
yeah.
2000.
I think '99.
Okay, SpongeBob dropped like 99 because I was there. Like I remember the countdown and everything. Like, and I've hated it since day one. Like since 1999, I've hated SpongeBob, but it's always been on TV. My older sister loves it. My 3 favorite episodes are the the robot Mr. Krabs,
Classic.
the Krusty Krab pizza,
Classic.
and the episode where Squidward's bike kept crashing and exploding.
I
Like
think I know.
every
And then is that the one where he's in like the full cast and
yes,
they go
yes, he was hurt.
jellyfishing? Yeah, firmly
Yeah, he
grasp
was
it.
yeah, jellyfishing. There you go. The jellyfishing episode. Those 3 are like I can't lie. Like those make me laugh, and those we always refer to. Cause like me and my baby sister, she's like fucking 24. I'm 29, and every time we link up, we be the Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza the like every time we link. Or we'll do the little robot noise from Mr. Krabs episode. Do 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 do. And start do 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 do. And the Nosferatu appearance is classic too. When the lights kept going on and off.
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Oh my god! Not all I think is that robot episode. I'd like to play the song, the one that goes bee boo boo bop boo boo bop. No, no, no. You're thinking of the song that goes boo 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 bop boo boo beep.
Or was it bop boo beep bo? That shit is so funny.
Yeah, I would say we were definitely a big Nickelodeon family. My brother's 24,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, word.
I'm the youngest, and so I'm 21, and so we were a big Nickelodeon family. So like, I love like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, kind of like a
Yeah,
little more
yeah,
when I was
yeah,
growing up. But then we also had like Rugrats on VHS, and I loved like Hey Arnold.
yeah.
I also watched dabbled in a little Cartoon Network as well. Do you have
I
any
was
like
gonna say I'm
classic
Cartoon
cartoon?
Network Boomerang. Yeah.
Okay.
I like Nickelodeon. I really, really like Teen Nick and like Nick at Night. Cause I was watching Degrassi like before Drake got shot. Like, and it's crazy too, because I was telling people for a while, like, yo, dude from Degrassi is dope. And they're like, I ain't fucking listening to him. He's on Degrassi, and now he's one of the biggest fucking artists ever. But I was a Cartoon Network Boomerang dude, so I like Dexter's Lab. I like Hong Kong Phooey, Ed and Eddie, Cow and Chicken. I Am Weasel. Like I was always on the Cartoon Network time block. That was my shit. Hanna Barbera is like the jam. I love Hanna Barbera cartoons. And then Adult Swim is classic. Like, oh man, I could go on for days about Adult Swim. Like, I'm still watching Venture Brothers and like Harvey Birdman and all that shit.
Oh, I'm trying. Okay, help me out here because I remember I'm blanking on one of your songs, but you reference Dexter's Lab, and I'm blanking on the song, but I remember the beat just goes so hard.
Oh,
Is that Ill?
Ill. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. With a dummy bitch, Dexter's Lab, Aditi. Yeah, I love Dexter's Lab, man. I'm still watching that to this day. I need to show that to my daughter later.
Do you have any other shows you're binging right now? Because I've just been on a tear with my binge watching.
Right now I am watching Neon Evangelion Genesis. I watched like all of them. Netflix just got the rights to them, I think, not too long ago. I just watched all of them like 2 weeks ago. I'm watching them all again. I've been watching like just hella different like Capcom OVAs. I watched Devil May Cry again. I watched Bayonetta. I'm watching Hunter x Hunter again. What else? I watch a lot of anime. I'm trying to finish Kill I Kill. I never finished that. Cells at Work is a funny ass anime. I'm watching Parasite again. Sword Art. I've seen all the Sword Arts like 50,000 times. I watched all the Berserk again. Then I've been watching weird ass Japanese horror films. There's a movie called Sweet Home that has a game on NES, and that game inspired the Resident Evil franchise. I've watched Sweet Home 15 times the last 3 days.
So you're big on the Twitch live streams, especially for gaming. Have you had
Trying to.
trying have you had a game that you've enjoyed playing the most during quarantine?
I haven't been playing it on Twitch, but I've been playing this game called Control on PS4. And then on Xbox, I've been playing Fantasy Star Online. And I'm trying to do the new Sword Art on my Twitch, but the first chapter is like 10 hours long. So I'm going on damn near 3 weeks now, and I'm still in the first chapter. I'm trying to cut that shit down and then start twitching it. That way people can see. And then I think what I've been playing the most is called Crosscode. It's like it's kind of like an open world, like Game Boy Advance Zelda type of game. You're like inside of a video game. There's hella puzzles and dungeons and shit. I've been playing that a lot because it's like a retro game, but with all the new game stuff in it. Like it's got an open world. There's like RPG elements and shit. It's a very big, tiny game. I've been playing that a lot. I did a lot of that on my Twitch, but that shit's difficult as hell, man. Some of the puzzles are like 2, 3 hours long. Like there's a dungeon that I'm on right now. I've been doing that shit for 2 weeks. I'm still not done with it. Yeah, it's intense. I like to play games that are like damn near impossible to beat. Then I gotta grab this Ghost of Tsushima too. I'm actually probably gonna grab that shit like today. I still got to do the Final Fantasy VII remake. Like you said, you're on PS2, dude. I'm on fucking so much PS2 shit. Like, I started playing Killer 7 again.
Honestly, something I've been just enjoyed doing is putting on some music and just for an hour, just crank out some sessions in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. That's just a
Yeah.
great, just wind down the night type game for me.
Well, for me, it's been Skate 3. Like, I turn the beats up hella loud and play like wild ass trap shit, like 2 Chainz, Gucci Man, and just like go fucking ham on the sticks. Like, I'm talking about like 2-3 hour sessions, just like I'm really skateboarding.
Chuuwee, this has been great. Before I let you go, first I gotta know if you have any new projects potentially coming out, and also where can the listeners find you and your music?
You can find my music on anything. I prefer Spotify. That's who I rock with. That's where I get all my statistics best. I am working on new projects also. So I'm finalizing. Like I said, I did a project that's like based off loosely living in quarantine. I'm finalizing that down. I just got to kind of make it a little bit better. I'm not too pleased with it. I'm finishing a continuation of the Nephilim album called Dio. We got another A and B joint, and then we're also in the process of finalizing another Imaginary Friends album. There's a continuation from the Tip of a Tab called The Stem of a Shroom. That's coming out probably. That's probably my next release. But like we've been working real hard on that. Like we've been working extra hard on that. So that's like I'm devoting all my time to that lately. And you can find me on Instagram or Twitter primarily. Those are the two I'm on. CHUUW33.
Awesome. Chuuwee, thank you so much for coming on. It was great having you.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate the love.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Thanks again to Chuuwee for coming on the show. That is all for this week, but we got many more episodes coming to you soon. I'm Pete Sippis. This is Sip Talk. Thanks for listening.